Here's a look at some of what I believe are the best art supplies for art journaling. I have structured this video into 3 easy art journaling ideas that feature all of my favorite art supplies. And there are links to everything you see in this video in the description. To start, I took out some of my favorite art supplies. A book of Canson XL mixed media paper, a set of 20 tempera paint sticks in pastel colors, a roll of painter's tape and a roll of washi tape, plus a black acrylic paint pen. After I found a clean page in my book of mixed media paper, I taped off a border with a painter's tape that was 1 inch wide. I used to use masking tape in my art journal, and it is a perfectly good option if that's what you have. I changed because I found that painter's tape is a bit more reliable when it comes to releasing cleanly from paper. Next, I made a grid of 12 boxes by applying 3 pieces of washi tape vertically and 2 pieces of tape horizontally. This washi tape is 7 millimeters wide, and I love how thin it is. It works well with this book of paper that's 5.5 by 8.5 inches, or 14 by 21.6 centimeters. Then I took out tempera paint sticks in pale yellow, spring green, aqua, tan, peach, and coral, and used them to draw messy spirals on the page. I should note that there are no names on these paint sticks, and the colors that I mentioned here are just my descriptions. All of these paint sticks came out of the set of 20 pastel paint sticks that I have from Shuttle Art. I absolutely love this set. And back in April 2026, I spent an entire month working with pastel colors. So if you're looking for more inspiration for this color palette, I recommend checking out the playlist that I linked here and in the description. Also, I have been testing mixed media paper this year, where I spend an entire month with each book of paper. And so far, out of the 3 papers I have tested, this Canson XL mixed media is my favorite. It doesn't wrinkle from the moisture of tempera paint sticks, and tape releases cleanly as long as I apply a little heat. When the page was full and the paint sticks were fully dry, I took out a black acrylic paint pen with a medium bullet tip and used it to add doodles on the page. I chose to use 3 doodles here: large loose squiggles, dots, and dashes. And I intentionally had the doodles run over the grid lines. A couple notes. With the loose squiggles, I always started and ended the lines on a piece of tape so that they would have clean edges after I peeled the tape off. And with the dashes, I drew them diagonally and changed the direction of the slants. Honestly, you could make any kind of doodle that inspires you. You don't have to use the ones I've used here, but you certainly can. When I felt that the page was sufficiently full, I turned the hairdryer on high heat for about a minute to loosen the adhesive on the washi tape and peeled it off. And then I turned the hairdryer on again before I peeled the painter's tape off. When all the tape was off, I have to tell you how pleased I was with how this page turned out. For the second art journaling idea, I took out more of my favorite art supplies, including a Strathmore 400 series sketchbook, painter's tape that was 1 inch wide, brush markers in Arctic blue, apple, sky blue, grass, and cool aqua, plus a micron pen with an 08 nib. After I found a clean page in my sketchbook, I applied a piece of tape along the top and bottom edge of the page. I did this so there would be a clean edge at the end of my art journaling session, and I have found that I like to secure my sketchbook to my work surface. Then I used the brush markers to draw loose squiggle lines down the page. They kind of reminded me of ribbons. All of these brush markers came out of 2 sets of brush marker pro pens by Karin. They are from the Sky Colors set and the Sun and Tree Colors set. When the page was full, I came in with a micron pen and made little dots along each of the lines. As I continue working, I wanted to mention that if you find value in this video, please like this video and subscribe to this channel, because these are the best ways to see more videos like this one. Now, I also wanted to share that one thing I love about working with cool colors is that I have noticed they are quite calming for me. I believe it's because they are the primary colors of nature, but that's just my opinion. While I can only share about my experience, I think it's worth experimenting with colors and noticing how they make you feel. This page took me just under 10 minutes to make, so it's a good one for the days when you need a quick and easy art journaling session. If you could use some more tips for shorter art journaling sessions, I recommend that you check out the video that's linked here and in the description that contains 3 tips for 5-minute art journaling pages. When I was finished applying the dots to the ribbons of marker, I put a hairdryer on high heat for about 30 seconds to loosen the adhesive on the tape and peeled it off. In the end, I loved how simple and easy this page was. Finally, we come to my favorite acrylic paint pens, Posca markers. To make this page, I only used a book of mixed media paper and a set of 8 Posca markers in earth tones. And after I found a fresh page in my art journal, I used the Posca markers to draw little circles and fill them in. However, I skipped the ivory marker in this set because you wouldn't be able to see it on the white paper. This set of Posca markers was labeled with a 5M, which is considered a medium bullet tip. And I love how smooth these markers are to work with. I have well over 100 markers now, and I have collected them mostly by buying sets of 8 when they are on sale. If you struggle with selecting color palettes, one trick I have found that makes it easier is to use a set of markers like this one where the colors are pre-selected for you. And while I freehanded these circles, you could use a stencil if you wanted to. These acrylic paint pens are fairly opaque, so they cover a line of pencil and even pen quite well. However, I chose to work free-handed here because it's good to practice making simple shapes. I believe it helps me maintain my dexterity and fine motor skills. Plus, it's fun. When the page was full, I took out another Posca marker. This one was black and labeled with a 1M, which is an extra fine bullet tip. And I used it to outline each circle 3 times. Because I wanted the outlines to be rather rough and organic looking, I lifted my elbow off of my work surface and controlled the marker more with my shoulder and arm than with my hand and wrist. I also alternated the direction that I drew the outlines, but you wouldn't have to do that. When I was done, I loved this page so much. All right, there you have it. All of my favorite art supplies this year. And I believe they are also the best art supplies for art journaling. Again, there are links to everything I used here in the description so you can find them. And if you could use more inspiration for working with acrylic paint pens, I recommend that you check out the video that is linked here and in the description, where you will discover 3 more ways to use Posca markers, or any brand of acrylic paint pen. Thanks for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.